So far, we've examined worship as ascribing worth to God, acknowledging Him in His holiness and love, which encompasses His other qualities like greatness, mercy, and faithfulness. We have also seen how worship is bowing down, a posture that also acknowledges God's greatness and our own humility in the face of it. This week, we're going to look at worship as service. In the Bible, sometimes when we see the word worship, the Hebrew or Greek word that it comes from is the word for serve. In other places, worship, bow down, and serve are used together to convey one idea or concept regarding our behavior, an attitude regarding God or false gods. One place we see the word serve used as worship quite a bit is when God is working to bring the people of Israel out of Egypt. God told Moses that when the people came out of Egypt, they would worship or serve God on the mountain, and that same terminology is repeated often throughout the account. I think the significance of this is in the fact that the Israelites, as slaves in Egypt, were not just entrapped in the worship of other gods, those of the Egyptians, but they were being forced to serve someone other than their God. Bringing them out of Egypt didn't just free them from slavery, it freed them to unencumbered, uninhibited worship of God, to worship God the way that God chose to be worshipped, not the way that their oppressors left room for God to be worshipped. It might make us uncomfortable to think that God dictates the way He is to be worshipped or served. However, the form that worship took was carefully laid out to help the Israelites understand God better, such as the fact that He is a God of holy love. Sometimes He took a practice they were familiar with and gave it new meaning, but other times He completely prohibited a practice because it tied in too closely to the worship of another God and put them in danger of misunderstanding a holy God. In the same way, we have been lovingly saved and redeemed from service to other gods. If we acknowledge and recognize that this is a great and holy God because we worship with our words, and we acknowledge and recognize that this is a great and holy God because we bow down with our hearts and even our bodies, then it is only right that we also worship by serving this great and holy God in the manner that He dictates. Anything less than that, and our worship to this point has been empty. Worship is serving. It is not just lip service. We started our spiritual disciplines with meditation. I encourage you to not drop one discipline as we go on to another. Continue to meditate on God's Word, allowing the Spirit to speak directly to you. But worship, too, can be meditation as we contemplate the greatness of our God. We can meditate as we read the Bible, and we can meditate as we worship in song, focusing and reflecting on what the song is saying, by making the words of worship the prayer of our hearts. Exodus 3:12 says, "And God said, I will be with you, and this will be the sign to you, that it is I who have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you will worship God on this mountain."